Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. I welcome you all to this third session on Devops course. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you very much for your responses. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So let's stop the chat. Okay. I hope you have successfully created an AWS account. Once the AWS account is created, it will take approximately 12 hours to 18 hours time to get activated. Okay, you may not use the AWS account immediately, but it will take approximately 12 hours time to get activated. Once you get an activation email, you can connect to AWS account and start working with services. Okay, we have created a Linux machine on AWS cloud. I hope you know that. Let's log into that same AWS machine which we have created, same Linux machine which we have created, and start working with the Linux command. This is a plan for our today's session. Before getting into the practicals of today's session, let's have quick questionnaire, starting with Ravindra Reddy. Good evening, Ravindra. How are you doing? You are allowed to unmute. Hello, Ravindra. Your volume is very, very low. Sorry, we cannot hear you, Ravindra. Please check your mic settings. Hi, Gaurav. Good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah. Hi, Sunil. Thank you for unmute.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Your voice is very clear. Yes. Your question, please. Please unmute again, Gaurav.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes. Your
Yeah, yeah.
question, please.
From last month in my organization, migration has been started.
Wow, very good. So your clients are moving to cloud. Your
Yeah.
client is moving to cloud. Is it AWS cloud or any other cloud?
It is a OCI, Oracle Cloud
Oracle
Infrastructure.
cloud. That's
Yeah.
Oracle cloud. Okay.
Yeah. So my question is, suppose I join this or I join this class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
can you provide me the any certification regarding?
You get a course completion certificate from our training institute. Okay.
Okay.
Gaurav?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So and so date to so and so date, you get a course completion certificate for the registered candidates. Okay, Gaurav?
Yeah, okay. And
Okay.
yeah, it is a very beneficial for me, right?
Yes, very good. Yes, because obviously you have to work on cloud. It's
Yeah,
very important. Okay. It's a good opportunity. In fact,
yeah,
take that opportunity and upgrade yourselves. Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Ritvik Nishal.
Hey Sunil, hi, how are you? Good evening.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Ritvik. How are you doing? You're from which location?
I am from Haridwar, Uttarakhand.
Haridwar. Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. May I know your experience?
I'm 2 years experience, Sunil.
In which platform?
Uh, I was being trained on development, but I was been uh, working in
Support.
QA right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, your question.
Yes. So Sunil, yesterday I created my AWS account.
Very good.
So
Are you
yeah,
successful?
yes, I was successful, but there was a challenge for using a debit card, as you told. So I
Mm-hmm.
used my credit card. So,
That's
but
okay.
yeah, that I used for because it was not taking that credit debit card. So my question is like, will they charge me without my permission, or they
No,
are
no,
going
you
to?
get a notification. There's an option called recurring payments.
Okay, okay,
You
okay.
have to disable that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you
Yeah,
disable
sure.
it, then you have to manually pay it. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Ritvik.
Sure. Yes, thank you so much,
Check for
Sunil.
recurring payments and you can easily get it in Google and you can disable that. By that's a
Sure.
checkbox, you have to disable it. Anything more,
Okay.
Ritvik?
Nothing from my
How
side.
is your
Thank you so much.
experience?
It's going
You know
amazing.
Linux? You know Linux?
Yeah, a bit. I know a bit of Linux, but not much.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So this
was.
will be a good revision for you.
Yes. I was working on on-prem, but
Okay.
moving my organization, my project was also moving to cloud. So It was a good chance, and
Very good chance. Very
I'm
good
looking,
chance.
yeah, I'm looking
Mhm.
for definitely for a job, like
Okay.
for yeah, for this for the change from QA to DevOps. So
Cloud
very
and
very
DevOps. Yeah. Okay.
please.
I hope you'll have a very good learning experience. Okay. Thank you,
Yes.
Ritvik.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Okay. Let's move on. We have created a Linux environment on AWS cloud. Okay. So let's log into AWS. We are all familiar how to log into AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in. As we now have AWS account, so I log in with my email address and the login password. Services. Creating virtual machines is possible using a service called as EC2. You know that. I hope you remember we have created an instance. So go to instances in the EC2 dashboard. This is how EC2 dashboard looks like. Instances. I remember this is the machine which we have created. The machine status is stopped. I want to use this machine. Select the machine. Click on instance state. There's an option to start. Less than a minute, the machine will be into running state. How can you connect to the Linux machine, which is somewhere running in Mumbai location, isn't it? Mumbai region. Whenever you want to connect to Linux machine, we use a terminal. We are very clear yesterday. We use a terminal called, what is the terminal? Git bash. What is git bash? Git bash is a terminal which we're using to connect to that Linux machine. So you need to open the terminal. Where do you open the terminal? You need to open the terminal and then use the command SSH command. You have to use SSH command to connect to that Linux machine. How can we get the SSH command? Once the machine is in running state, you can see here the machine is in running state. You can clearly obvious that the machine is in running state. Select the machine, click on connect. Still showing a stop. Look at this. It's very important. You get the SSH command. This is the SSH client, and you need to use the SSH command. Copy the SSH command. Now the SSH command is ready with you. Now where do you run this SSH command? You open the terminal. Now where should we open the terminal? You need to open the terminal, which is having the PEM file. What is PEM file? PEM file is nothing but a file with extension. PEM file is nothing but a key pair. Do you remember once you complete the creation of a new Linux machine, you end up downloading a file. That file is called as a PEM file. I remember I have downloaded my PEM file in my Devops 430 folder, and this is the file where this is location fine. So go to that location, right click and open the terminal from the location where the PEM file is available, because SSH command uses the PEM file. I hope very clear. So I copy the SSH command, right click and paste. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes, you are right. You have successfully connected. You have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Perfect. What is the proof that you're connected? You get an IP address. The moment you're getting an IP address, that's the proof that you're connected. Now, why did you connect Linux machine? The same story. The prerequisite for DevOps is Linux. You should be comfortable with Linux, and we are learning Linux on AWS environment. That's the reason we have created Linux on AWS. Okay. So let's learn starting with Linux. The most important thing is to frequently used tasks are creating files and directories. So this is our plan for our today's session. Let's learn how to create a file. Let us learn how to create a file. I want to create a file with the name F1. I want to create a file with the name F1, and I want to write some contents into the file. Whenever you want to create a file with the name F1, we have a command called cat. We have a command called cat command which helps you to create a file. What is the name of the file you want to create? I want to create a file with the name F1. The command to create a file is cat. Use the greater than symbol followed with the file name, whichever you want. What is the name of the file I'm mentioning here? F1. That means the file gets created. Why do you create a file? Obviously, you want to write some data into the files, isn't it? Look at the experience of the cat command. cat greater than, mention the file name. I'm creating a file with the name f1. A file gets created. Now you entered into the file. Write the contents, whatever you want to write in the file. For example, good evening. Welcome to Devops. Thank you. So this is the 3 lines of content, whichever you want, write it. Any content you can write it. And how to come out of the cat command. You're not getting a dollar from back. How to come out of the cat command. Whenever you want to come out of the cat command, Control D is a sequence you need to use. Control D to come out of the cat command. I use Control D. You can see I'm out from the cat command and back to my dollar prompt. I'm very clear in showing you how to create a file in Linux. I have successfully created a file with the name f1. Can I create one more file f2? You can do that. Cat greater than, mention the name of the file, whichever you want. I can create any file, my name of the file. Now I want to create f2. Write some contents, whichever you want in your file. How to come out of the file. Whatever the contents you want, you can write it. How to come out of the file, how to come out of the cat command, Control D to come out of the cat command. I'm done. Back to the dollar prompt. So I'm done showing you how to create a file. And what is the command which helps you to create a file? Cat command. Done. Perfect. How many files we have created? How many files we have created? We have created 2 files, file 1 and f1 and f2. If you want to see the list of all the files which you have created, very important, very important. Whenever you want to see list of all the files we have created, we have a command called ls, stands for list. We have a command ls stands for list, which will list out the files which you have created. How many files you have created, friends? How many files we have created? This is pretty simple. I'm a little fast because these are pretty simple. How many files we have created? 2 files. So ls will list out all the files which you have created. How many files you have created? 2 files. What are the names of the files? f1 and f2. Done. You now know how to create a file, and you also know how to see list of all the files which you have created. You can create 10 files, and number of files. You're done with creating a file. Perfect. You know how to create a file. Perfect. How to remove a file. File is created. How many files we have created? 2 files we have created, f1 and f2. I want to remove a file. We have a command called rm, stands for remove. Mention the file name, whichever you want to remove. We have 2 files, right? I want to remove the second file, f2. This is the command to remove a file. We have 2 files, right? f1 and f2. I want to remove a file. I want to remove the second file. Let's say I want to remove a file, second file. Mention the file name. rm stands for remove. File name. File has been removed. That's it. List out. Now you have only one file, f1. Where is f2? It's deleted. You know how to create a file. Using the cat command, you also know how to remove a file. That's it. Clear. We have a command clear to clear the screen. We have a command clear to clear the screen. We have a command ls to see list of all the files. I'm done with creating a file. I'm done showing you how to create a file. I have done shown you how to remove a file. Next point, how to create a directory. Let's move on. We have learned how to deal with files. Let's quickly deal with directories. Let's learn how to create a directory. Similarly, let's learn how to delete the directory which we have created. Directory, if you compare in Windows, it's called as a folder. In Windows, we create a folder and we place some files inside the folder. Here in Linux, it's called as a directory. Fine. How can we create a directory in Linux? Whenever you want to create a directory, we have a command called mkdir. You are right, make directory stands for make directory, which helps you to create a directory. When you're creating a directory, you should mention the name of the directory which you're planning to create. I want to create a directory with the name D1. That's it. Your command is ready. Make directory is a command, stands for mkdir, so which helps you to create a directory. Mention the directory name, whichever you want. Your directory gets created. Let's create it. Done. Directory got created. Can I create one more directory? Why not? You can do that. mkdir d2 directory gets created. Second directory got created. So you know how to create files. You know how to create directories also. Cat is a command which helps you to create a file, and mkdir is a command which helps you to create a directory. ls, we already have experience. It will show you list of all the files, not just files. It will also show you directories as well. Look at the result of the list command. you are not only able to see the files, you are able to see the directories also. We have created 2 directories and we have created 1 file. So we have learned how to create a file. We also have learned how to create a directory. Perfect. Sachin, good evening. How are you doing?
Hi Sunil.
Hi,
Hi
Sachin.
Sunil.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for joining. Yes, your question. Any technical question?
Yeah, actually, my question is regarding. I am having 7 years experience as a Oracle DBA. Okay,
Oracle
and
DBA. Okay.
yeah,
Many
and
batches, many in our many batches regularly people come from database administrations. Okay. I hope Sachin, you know the database is becoming autonomous, isn't it, Sachin?
yes, yes, yes,
Everything is an automated, so there is less dependency on the database administrators because of automatic patching, automatic upgrading, automatic cloning, no downtime. Okay,
yes,
so it's very important for us to
yeah.
leverage.
As a DBA, how DevOps it will be helpful for me in upcoming
Now, if
opportunities.
you want to upgrade in your current technology,
Hmm.
okay, probably you need to go for RAC, rapid action, RAC, and you have need to go for advanced topics of in your track. If you want to completely switch your platform from a DBA to something latest technologies, then go for DevOps. You have 2 options. In the same track, you can upgrade your skills, isn't it, Sachin? Okay,
Yeah.
by learning the Exadata and all those.
Hmm.
Or you can go for completely shift your technology to cloud. Okay, if you want to
Okay.
switch your platform, then I strongly recommend to go for DevOps. Okay, it's
Okay.
up to you to take the decision. Okay, Sachin,
Yeah. Yeah.
you clear?
Yeah, Sunil. Yeah.
Perfect. But future,
Thank you.
the future is always cloud. Okay,
Okay.
one day or other you'll be ending up in cloud. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sachin.
Thank you.
Sri Ratna Lakshmi.
Yeah, Sunil, good evening.
Good evening,
Am
Lakshmi.
I
How are you
audible?
doing? Yeah, very clear.
Yeah, fine, I'm fine. Yeah, I have two doubts. One is that yesterday you were saying that about the debit card. So I have to activate the international, right?
Yes, you need to enable activate international
Yeah.
transactions for your debit card.
After creating my AWS account, can I inactivate it?
Mm, you can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
don't want to make the
Okay.
payment, you can do that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
You can
one more thing is you said about the virtual machine for Linux, right?
This is the virtual machine which we have created, isn't it? On the AWS cloud.
Yeah.
Agree?
So you said one more that VMware, right? Is
That's
it
on
necessary?
the. Yeah.
That's all
Please.
to learn, right?
Sorry.
VMware, you said if you want, you can create option two. You said to create a VMware and you
Yes.
can have Linux, right?
Linux environment on VMware. Yes.
So is it to learn or we will be doing with the DevOps?
No, we have no way related to VMware. Okay.
Okay,
In that is
okay.
one option, but this is more the
That's an
latest option
option.
on cloud. Okay. We will never
Okay,
work on VMware. Okay, Lakshmi.
okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you
I
very
know your
much.
experience.
I'm actually education based. I'm
Now
nowhere
you want to.
connected with IT.
Now you want to get into
Now
IT.
I want to switch over. Yeah.
Okay.
I have 20 years of teaching
Stay
experience.
focused. Stay focused and acquire more skills. You need to put more efforts when compared to others.
Okay, okay then.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
One last question before getting on. Anji M51. You are allowed to unmute. Can you hear me, Anji? You have any question? If you're not having any question, please drop your hand. Let's move on. We have created files. We have created directories also. Okay. So mkdir helps you to create a directory. We have created 2 directories. How to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory, friends? How to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory? Now you can say if F1 is the name, if is file, whereas D1 and D2 are directories. Okay. One way of identification is, you are right, by using the color you can identify which one is a file and which one is a directory. If in case if the terminal is not supporting the colors, if it's, everything is black and white, is there any way to identify which one is a file and which one is a directory? Okay, yes, there's one more way. You have to wait for the identification which one is a file, which one is a directory. But as of now, color is one identification to know which is file and which one is a directory. Directories are presented in blue color. Let's move on. How to remove a directory? We have learned how to create a file and we have learned how to remove a file. Similarly, we have learned how to create a directory. So let's remove the directory. If mkdir stands for make directory, we have a command called rmdir. rm to just remove a file, rm directories, remove directory, which helps you to remove directory. I want to remove the second directory. That's it. Directory is removed. List, confirm whether it is removed or not. Yes, now it's no more available. Creating a directory, you know it, and how to remove a directory, you know it. Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Let's go move on. My question is, can we place files inside a directory? When you compare, in Windows it is called as a folder, in Linux it is called as directory. In Windows, can you place some files inside a folder? Yes, definitely. I have created a folder, you can see here. I've created a folder, I'm placing some files on this folder. In the same way, you can place some files inside the folder. Can we place some files inside the folder directory? You have a directory called D1. Now, can we place some files inside the directory? Yes, you can do that. I want to show you, we have created a directory called D1. Inside the directory, I have created a directory called D1. Now, my point is inside the directory, and can I create a file, something like, let's say F10. Can I create a file F10 inside the directory? You can do that. Okay. Now, very important. Please observe. We have a command called pwd, stands for print working directory. People also say present working directory, but it is print working directory, which will show you the current path in which you're working. It will show you a path. Currently, you're pointing out to /home/ubuntu. This is your current path. Whenever you want to know the current path, you have a command called pwd, print working directory. It will show you the current path in which you are located. Fine. Now, where do you want to create a file? Not in this particular path. I want to create a file inside the directory. You need to create a file inside the directory. That means you need to enter into the directory. First, you have to enter into the directory. We have a command called cd, stands for change directory. We have a command cd, stands for change directory, which will change the current directory. I want to enter into which directory? You want to enter into D1. So cd, mention the directory name which you want to change. I want to enter into D1. So that's the reason I mentioned the directory name. Yes, now you are inside the directory. Now you are inside the directory. You may have a question. Sunil, proof. What is the proof that you are inside the D1? What is the proof that you have entered into the directory? Whenever you want to check the current path, you have a command called pwd. Now look at the result of the pwd. You are previously in /home/ubuntu. Now you are in /home/ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu, you are pointing to D1. Clear? So whenever you want to change the directory, whenever you want to enter into a specific directory, whichever you want, we have a command called cd. Got it? Clear? Now you are inside the directory. Inside the directory, can I create a file? Yes, F10. I can create a file. Yes. Cat greater than F10. Write the contents, whatever you want. How to come out of the cat command? Control D to come out of the cat command. Yes, you have created a file. What's the name of the file you have created? F10. Clear? Clear about this? So you can now in a position, let's clear the screen. What's the command to clear the screen? Clear. pwd, print working directory. Out now you're pointing to D1, and inside the D1 there's only one file called F10. Clear? Clear about this? I have shown you how to enter into the directory and how to create a file inside the directory. Perfect. Next. Look at the path of the Linux operating system. You are now pointing to /home/ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu, you are now pointing to D1. Perfect. For D1, the parent directory is Ubuntu. For D1, the parent directory is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu, the parent is home. The topmost hierarchical structure is root. This is how exactly the file structure in Linux. What is the parent of D1? The parent of D1 is Ubuntu. You want to go back to its parent directory. Right now you're pointing to D1. You want to come out of D1 back to its parent directory. Whenever you want to go back to previous directory or immediate parent directory, we have cd double dot. You are right. I'm going a little fast because I hope you know it. If even though you don't know it, it is very clear. You need to run a command called cd double dot, which helps you to take to the previous directory. I want to go back to a previous directory, so cd double dot. Right now I'm in previous directory. If you want to confirm it, whenever you want to confirm where are you pointing out, pwd print working directory, now you're /home/ubuntu. Got it? Is this clear? Clear about this? So you know how to navigate between the directories now. You know how to enter into a directory and you know how to come out of the directory to its parent directory. Perfect. Perfect. Let's move on. What is the command list? Will show you list of all the files. We have files F1, we have files D1, we have a file F1, we also have a directory D1. Perfect. Is D1 empty? Tell me. Is D1 empty? No, D1 is not empty. D1 is having a file. What's the name of the file? Look at the background. D1 is having a file F10, which we have created. Okay. We have learned how to remove a directory. We have learned how to remove a directory. Shakti Murugan, can we have a quick talk for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Shakti, what is the command we have discussed to remove a directory?
RMDIR.
RMDIR is a command to remove a directory.
Yes.
What is D1? Is it a file or a directory?
It's a directory.
So can we remove this directory?
Yes.
Tell me the command.
RMDIR and then that directory name.
D1. We already have discussed this is a command to remove a directory, but interestingly, this command fails. Observation. Failed to remove the directory because the directory is not empty. So RMDIR will successfully work only when the directory is empty. If a directory is not empty, if the directory is having some files, so in that case, the RMDIR fails. In such case, we have a command called rm-r, stands for recursive.
Okay.
Shakti, R stands for recursive. What does it do? It deletes the files inside the directory and then finally it deletes the directory also. I want to remove a directory called
D1.
D1. Now it is successful. Now ls, have you removed the directory? Yes, we have removed the directory.
Yes.
Clear about this? So there are two ways to remove the directory. One is rmdir, which helps you to remove a directory. The other way is rm-r followed with the directory name. Remove directory will be successful only when the directory is empty. Better if you use rm-r, irrespective whether the directory is empty or not, this will be successfully executed. Please use rm-r whenever you want to remove a particular directory. Clear, Shakti? Am I clear about the difference? Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are we standing in our agenda? You know how to create a file, you know how to remove a file, you know how to create a directory, you know also how to remove a directory. In fact, we have discussed the difference between rmdir and rm-r. Yes. Okay. You know how to go to previous directory. Previous directory, when I say previous directory, it's nothing but the parent directory. Cd double dot is a command which helps you to go to the parent directory. Okay. Now look at this. I want to create a directory D1. I want to enter into the directory and I want to create one more directory called D2. Inside D2, I want to create a directory D3. Inside D3, I want to create a directory D4. This is the hierarchy structure which I want to create. I want to create some nested directories. I want to create D1 inside the directory. I want to create one more directory called D2. Inside the directory can have D3. Inside the directory can have directory. Like in Windows, a folder can have one more folder in the same, something similar to it. This is the hierarchical structure I want to do it. Can we do it? Yes, definitely yes. Shakti, are you comfortable listing me a set of commands which we should execute so that I can get this directory structure?
Yeah, sure.
What's the first command?
First command should be mkdir d1.
Next.
Next, we need to enter into the directory
And
cd
very
d1.
important, enter into the directory. That's
And
it.
then we need to create mkdir d2. The same way we have to enter into the d2 directory.
Thank you, Shakti. D3 and enter into D3 and again MK
dir
dir
d4.
D4 and I want to enter into D4 CD.
cd d4.
Thank you, Shakti. So let's follow this series of commands. Within no time we can do that. Let's clear the screen. Directory 1 created. You have to enter into the directory because you want to create second directory inside the D1. So first enter into the directory. Right now you have entered into the directory inside D1. Create second directory. Enter into the second directory. Create third directory, enter into third directory. Create a fourth directory and enter into the fourth directory. If you want to know the current path in which you are working, we have a command called pwd. We already have discussed. You can see you are in /home/ubuntu. Inside Ubuntu, you are in D1, inside D1, D2, inside D2, D3, inside D4, D3, D4. Like this, you can create a number of directories. Now, why did I create the directory structure is you should be comfortable navigating between the directories. Right now, you're pointing to D4. For D4, the parent is D3. For D3, the parent is D2. For D2, the parent is D1. How to go back to the parent directory? Tell me. Right now, I'm pointing to D4. How to go back to D3? CD double dot. You're right. CD double dot will help you to go to parent directory. Confirm? Yes. PWD. Yes. Your previously you're in pointing to D4. Now you're pointing to D3. From D3, I want to directly go to Ubuntu. I don't want to go to D2 from there D2 from D2 D1 from D1. I want directly jump to Ubuntu. Can I go to this particular location? Yes, you can do that. You need to complete. You need to write the absolute path right from the scratch. CD /home/Ubuntu. That's it. Directly from the root, you need to mention the path which you want to jump. I want to jump to /home/Ubuntu. Right now, you directly are now jumping back to /home/Ubuntu. Clear? You are now in a position to go to the previous directory, go to any directory whichever you want. You can by using the command called cd stands for change directories. Clear about this? So where are we standing in our today's class? You know how to go to the previous directory. You know how we have created nested directories, and you're now in a position comfortably navigating between the files as well as folders. Perfect. Perfect. How can we create a file? Tell me. You may have a question. Sunil, you're coming back to the first point. We have learned how to create a file. We have learned how to create a file. And how did we do that? By using the command called cat followed with greater than, mention the file name, whichever you want. That's how we have created a file. Yes, we have learned. I want to quickly create one more file. Clear? I want to create a file with the name F4. Can we do it? Yes. Cat. Mention the file which you want to create. I want to create a file F4. Write some contents into the file. Write some contents into the file and how to come out of the file. How to come out of the cat command, control D to come out of the cat command. Is this file successfully created? Yes, you have created a file F4. There is a second way to create a file. We can also create a file by using one more command called touch command. One way of creating a file is by writing cat command. One more way of creating a file in Linux is by using the touch command. I want to create a file with the name F5. That's the file name. I want to create a file with the name F5. Can we do it by using the touch command? Yes, you can do that. Let's experience how to create a file by using the touch command. Look at the result. Touch file name, the file gets created. That's it. Touch F6, the file got created. So you can also create the files by using the touch command. F5 and F6 are the files which I have created using the touch command. You can also see the files F5 and F6. F4 is a file which we have created by using the cat command. F5 is a file and F6 is a file which we have created by using the touch command. Did you experience the difference? Yes, you're right. I hope you already have experienced difference. When you create a file by using the cat command, what's happening? Your control will enter into the file, you're writing some data inside the file, and you're using control D command to come out of the cat command. Whereas when you're creating a file by using touch command, you are not entering into the file. The file gets created. These files are empty files. Touch command is used to create an empty file. You want to create a file first, and then you want to write some data inside the file later. First, you want to create some set of files. You can quickly do that by using the touch command. Clear? So in two ways we can create the file by using the cat command. You have experienced it. Control will enter into the file. You write some content. That's one way of creating the file by using the cat command. The second way of creating the file by using the touch command. The observation is when you create a file by using the touch command, those are empty files. Those are empty files. Clear? You may have a question, Sunil, if it is an empty file in future, can we write some data into the file? Yes, you can do that. How can we write some data into an empty file? I'll show you soon. But these are the two ways you can create a file by using the cat command, by using a touch command. Clear? Ankita? Satpati? Good evening.
Hi, Sunil.
Yeah.
When you are telling about the creating file using cat command, can we use the vi command to create file?
Vi command is also possible by creating a file. We'll see it soon. Okay?
Yeah.
Anything more, Ankita?
No, that's all.
Thank you. Vinay Kumar, how are you doing?
Yes, sir. Good, sir. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Yes, thank you. Your question.
Yes, sir. I don't have any knowledge on coding, so is this training is good for me, and when I got opportunity.
Okay. You don't like coding?
Yes, sir. I don't have any knowledge on coding, so that's why.
DevOps is developers needs coding. DevOps, there's no coding involved. Okay, it's all about understanding the tool and using the tools and coordinating the development team and the operations team. Okay, there's no much coding involved here. Okay,
Yeah.
Vinay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Final last question, sir. Is this training is enough for get a job, sir? Job,
You
sir?
have to also learn AWS.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Combination of DevOps and AWS is very important. You can understand DevOps without AWS, but in the resume, you are expected to have AWS also. Every DevOps engineer is expected to have exposure towards the cloud platform.
Yeah. Yes,
okay?
Sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Upender, how
Hi,
are you?
sir. Yeah, fine, sir.
Your question.
So, yes, sir, we are creating a file with cat, right? Cat command.
Yes.
So, if we return some content in it,
and you want to change it.
Yeah, if you want to change it, then
you
it is
want to
possible.
edit the file. Whenever
Yes,
you
sir.
want to edit a file, let's say you have done some mistake, you want to erase a particular line or erase a particular word, you want to make some changes in a file, then you need an editor, Upendra.
Yes.
You need a
Editor.
you need
So
editor.
editor.
Editor is used to edit the content, isn't it? What is Notepad? Notepad is an editor, isn't it? You can edit some contents, isn't it? So you
Yes.
need an editor. In Linux, we have VI editor, using which you can edit the files. We'll see it soon. Okay.
Okay.
Anything more?
Thank you, sir. No, sir.
Good question. Thank you. Praveen.
So good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Praveen.
Yes, sir. Actually, I learned in AWS from your videos. I purchased that. I learn also. So as a fresher, how can we create a resume?
We'll share you the resumes. Okay, don't worry.
As a fresher,
Sample
we
resumes. Freshers also, yes, it is possible. There are some openings for freshers also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, thank you, sir. I learned also DevOps in continuous.
Thank you, Praveen. Yes, good. Okay, perfect. Let's move on. So editor is used to edit the files. How can we edit the files which is already created? We'll see it soon. We have created a file, right? F1 is the first file I think we have created into the session. If you want to see the contents present in the file, you may have a question. Sunil, you are showing you how to create a files, how to create directories, how to remove the files, how to remove the directories first. Fine. I want to see the contents present in the file. I think F1 is having a file which is having some 3 lines of content. Good evening, welcome to Devops or something like that. Can you see the contents in the file? Yes, you can do that by using the same command called cat. Just mention the file name F1. Do not use the greater than symbol. Greater than symbol is used when you're creating a new file. You are not creating a new file. File is already there. The name of the file is F1. You want to see the contents present in the file. Just write cat F1. Are you able to see the contents in the file? Perfect. All your doubts are eventually cleared. All your doubts are eventually clear. You also know how to see the file. How to edit the file. Look at this. There's a spelling mistake here. Welcome. There's an extra T here. How to edit the file. In that case, you need to go for editor. We have very VI editor. We'll be seeing it soon. Perfect. Let's go for long list. Very important. Let's go for long list. What ls command will do, friends? You are right. It will show you list. ls stands for list. What it will list? It will list you files and directories. Okay. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 files and 1 directory. Very good. Okay. ls command will show you the files and directories, but I want to know more information about the file. Not just file names. I want to know more information about the file. Example, I want to know the date and time when the file has been created. I want to know the date and time when the file has been created. I want to know the size of the file. How much size this file is. I want to know the permissions of that particular file. I want to know who is the owner of the file. If you want to know more information about the files as well as directories, whenever you want to see more information about the files in directories in Linux, we have ls-l stands for long list. L stands for long list. ls-l will list out not only files, file names, you will get the more information about the files like date and time, size, and other information. Look at the result, ls-l. You get the same files, you get this F1, F4, F5, F6, you're getting the same information followed with one directory. Yes, total 4 files and directories, you're getting it in more, you're getting more additional information. Let's try to understand this information. Can you see the date and time when the file has been created? Fine. What is 42? Yes, you are right. It is the size of the file, 42 bytes. Can you see F5 is 0 bytes? F6 is 0 bytes. Why it is 0 bytes? Because these are the files which you have created by using what command? These are the files which you have created using, you are right, it is using touch command, and touch, I said, as I mentioned, touch will create an empty file, and this is a proof that the files are empty. Got it? 0 bytes. You are in a position to know the size of the file. You are in a position to know the date and time when the file has been created. This is the owner of the file who has created the file. This is the group, and these are the permissions. What is group? You don't need to worry, will be very much clear. These are the permissions of the file. These are links to the particular file. So are you able to get more information? Yes, you are now in a position to get more information. -L stands for long list, will give you more information about the file, about date and time, size, permissions, very important. These are the permissions of a file. All these are very, very important. So when you want to get more information about the files, please use long list. That's -L will give you more information about the file. Okay. If you don't want all this more information, if you just want to see list of files, that's right, ls. That's it. If you don't want all this additional information, I just want to know, Sunil, I just want to know list of all the files. That's it. I don't want date and time. I don't want size. I don't want permissions. Then use normal ls. If you want to get more information, use long list. Got it? Perfect. Next. Let's clear. Let's list. This is important. I want to create a file. I want to create a file with the name .f7. I want to create a file with the name .f7. The interesting thing is the file name is starting with dot. Okay, what's there in it? Let's create it. In two ways you can create it. You can create it by using the cat command. You can also create it by using the touch command. So I want to do it quickly by using the touch command. So let's create it. Touch, followed the file name .f7. The file name is starting with dot. In Linux, I'm creating a file with the name .f7. Successfully created. File successfully created. ls2c list of all the files. Are you able to see the new file? The file which you have created .f7, are you able to see the new file? No, you're not getting the result. You're not able to see the file which you have just now created. What could be the reason? The reason is, in Linux, when a file name starts with dot, in Linux, when a file name starts with dot, it's a hidden file. When a file name starts with dot, it's a hidden file. Similarly, when a directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden directory. Look at this. mkdir dot d2. Directory got created, but you're not able to see the result because it's a hidden directory. Now you know how to create hidden files, and you know what is the concept of a file or directory when it starts with dot. When a file name starts with dot, it's a hidden file. When a directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden directory. List will not show you hidden files and hidden directories. It will show you only normal files and normal directories. If you want to see hidden files and hidden directories also, ls-a stands for all. All means normal files as well as hidden files and hidden directories. Look at -a. Are you getting .d2, which we have just now created? And we have created a file called .f7. Are you able to see .f7 also? And you have many more interesting hidden files and hidden directories. There's some predefined hidden files and hidden directories. That's okay. But the point is, you have to understand the concept. When a file name starts with dot, you're right, it's a hidden file. Similarly, when a directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden directory. Clear? List will not show you hidden files. ls-a will show you hidden files and hidden directories. Okay, so as of now, we have discussed three options in list command. ls is a normal listing of files and directories. ls-l long list will show you more information about the date and time, size, and the permissions. ls-a is a normal list, but it also shows you hidden files and hidden directories also. Clear? What if file name starts with dot? Now you have the answer with you. When a file name starts with dot, it's a hidden file. How to see hidden files? You know it now. -a as option is used to see the hidden files. How to create a hidden directory? Similar to hidden files. You can use combination of ls options. What do you mean by combination of ls options? ls-la. ls-l will provide you more information about ls -l will provide more information about normal files, but you're not showing hidden files. If you want hidden files, ls long list all will show you all the files, hidden files also. There's a hidden file .f7, there's a hidden directory .f2, there's some other hidden files. You're able to get the information. Clear? You can use -l, you can use -a, you can use -la, you can use -al, you can use any of the order, whichever you want, you get the same result. But you are in a position to get more information about the files, as well as you know what is the concept of hidden files and hidden directories also. Okay, clear? Sai Shanmukh, good evening. You are allowed to unmute yourself. I can see your hand raised. Yes, we can hear you, I think. Please unmute again.
Hi, yeah, hello. Good evening, Sanjay.
Good evening, Sai. How are you?
Yeah, fine. You?
Yeah, doing well. Thank you. Your question.
Yeah. Is there any shortcut to create a directory on directory?
Is there any
Every
short?
time,
Every time you open, create directory and change the directory again, shifting to that directory.
Okay. You want to run some set of commands at once. Okay. Isn't it? You want to create one directory, enter into directory, create second directory, enter into second directory, create third directory. So set of commands you want to run at once. That's called scripting. Okay. Okay. We can do that by using scripting. Fine. Thank you. Sai Kumar Kasibatla.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Sai. You're from which location?
Actually, I'm from Ireland.
Okay. So, currently working?
Yeah, I'm working as an SAP BW consultant.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Any specific reason why are you getting into DevOps?
Actually, in Ireland, DevOps market was very good. SAP market
Okay.
is very low.
Okay. 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 One of my close friends stays in Scotland.
Oh, okay.
He also says the same.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Ireland, this UK market is very less, and isn't it? So you need to be very
Yes.
focused on the technology, unlike US.
Correct. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Yes. Your question.
Yeah. So just a small point. You created hidden files and hidden directories, and you can
Yes.
display just by simple command. What will be the business scenario to create hidden files and directories? If we can
Generally,
display.
we will never come across the need for creating a hidden file and hidden directory. Okay. But if when you're working with Linux, you can see there are a lot of hidden files, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? Generally, we'll never come across the need for creating hidden files, but you can see .cache, .sss. There's a many predefined hidden directories. You'll be surprised to know what do you mean by these dots. So you have to know this information. So when a file name or directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden file and hidden directory, but you generally don't need to create those kind of hidden files and hidden directories. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. How to copy a file? We have a file F1. Okay. What is the content in this file? Let's experience it. We can read the information in the file by using a cat command. Don't use greater than symbol because you're not creating a new file. You want to see the contents in the existing file. So good evening. This is some 3 lines of content. You want to copy this content into a different file. Okay. I want to copy this content file 1, whichever we have the content. We have a file called F1, and I want to copy that content into a file called F9. I want to copy the content into F9. Do you have F9? Tell me. Do we have F9? No, we don't have F9, but still not a problem. We have a command called CP. You can easily understand copy. Mention source, mention destination. Mention the source, mention the destination. What's your source? F1. What's your destination? F9. Do you have F9 available? No, it's not available, but it still gets created. The file gets created. The content is copied into that file F9. Yes, you can see now F9 is available. If you want to read the content in F9, you are able to read that, and it is the same content of F1. So you can, this is very frequently used job. You want to copy a file. We have a command called CP command, which helps you to copy the files from one location to one file to other file. Okay, clear? Rajesh.
Hi, Sunil.
Hi, Rajesh. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you.
Sunil,
Your
can we,
question.
instead of using git bash, can we use putty?
Putty. Any terminal you want, you can use it. Okay. So git bash is more comfortable, but in case if you want to putty, you have an additional task of converting the PEM file to PPK file, isn't it? Whereas
Yeah.
in git bash, you can do it. Any terminal is okay. The experience will be
Okay.
the same. Okay, Rajesh.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Raghavendra.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Raghavendra.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
How is your learning experience?
Yeah, it's fine, sir. I have learned AWS from you.
Thank you. Okay, good track. Yeah, tell me your question.
So my question is, can we create a directory or files with the commands? I mean, mkdir is the name of the directory. Can I create that?
That's a keyword. Okay. You
Okay.
cannot have a directory name with the same as command name. Okay. Don't do that.
As well as for files also.
Yes, you are right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Anything
it,
more,
sir.
right, Raghavendra? You know
No,
Linux,
sir.
or
No.
is the first time you're learning it?
I know some.
Basics.
I already said right. AWS I learned from you.
Okay. But I have never trained
Huh.
Linux on AWS, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Some basics only I know.
You already know
I
it.
don't.
Okay. Good. Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. So tomorrow's session is more important because we are more getting into important concepts of Linux, that is dealing with permissions. How can we change the permissions is very, very important. Okay. Using the change mode command. Okay. That's very important. Package management. These are all very important concepts. Okay. Thank you. Gopinath. You have some question, Gopi? No questions? Okay. Perfect. Praveen? Okay, sorry. No questions, Praveen. Sorry. Gangadhar. Good evening.
Good evening, Sunil. How are you?
Doing well, Gangadhar. Nice to talk to
Thank you.
you. Your question?
Today is my first class. I have a doubt. I have an experience of 10 years in manual testing. So I want
Okay.
to move to these technologies, DevOps and AWS. So
Very
with
good.
my experience, can I survive in this field?
Definitely, yes. It's good time to switch to cloud. That is latest, doing good in the market. So Gangadhar, the approach, what you need to do, anyways, you have started DevOps now. You should also acquire skills on AWS. Okay.
Okay.
And then put 2 years of experience in DevOps and AWS. Out of 10 years of experience, latest 2 years, you should mention it as you worked on DevOps and AWS. And last previous 8 years, you have your actual experience. That's how you have to create your profile and project it. Okay. You start receiving
Okay.
the calls, because when you say that you trained on DevOps and AWS, you will not get the calls. You get the calls only when you say that I worked on DevOps and AWS. So how to prepare a profile, how to prepare the resume, what kind of roles and responsibilities we need to put, what should be the project explanation. We'll share it. Okay, Gangadhar, using that you can have your transformation from your existing technology to the
Okay.
cloud.
So will I get all that what I needed to put the 2 years of
Yes.
experience?
First, most important is to acquire the skills, and then
Right.
we'll share the sample resumes. Please read that, pick up the points whichever we want, and we frequently have project explanation sessions. Please listen that and acquire the skills. Mention that prescriptions in your resume, and then you can easily, if you're be confident. Definitely, if you're perfect in the subject, you can easily crack it. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank
Great.
you,
Thank
Gangadhar.
you, Sunil.
Your location, please.
Hyderabad.
Okay. Thank you, Gangadhar. Thank you very much. Perfect. So this is what we have planned for today's session. I already have posted WhatsApp group in the chat box. Many are getting information that you are not part of WhatsApp group. Please do not join duplicate groups. This is batch number 76. I hope you are already, majority of you are already in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group using the link mentioned in the chat box. Okay, clear? And this is what we have done for our agenda today's class. In tomorrow's session, we are getting into more important detailed concepts of Linux, like understanding the permissions, changing the permissions using both the notations, alphabetical notations and numerical notations, and then working with creating users, pseudo keyword, package management. These are very, very important. That's our agenda for our tomorrow's class. And remember, once you're done practicing your Linux commands, please disconnect the connection to the AWS terminal, Git bash terminal. I'll be using this machine tomorrow, so please stop the machine, then sign out. Don't sign out when the machine is in running state. Do not sign out when the machine is in running state. Okay. So it will be stopped in no time, and then the machine will be, and then you can sign out. So that's how you have to manage your AWS account. Don't sign out when the machines are in running state. Okay. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow, where we'll get into more detailed concepts of Linux. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Same meeting link. Okay. You don't need to doubt on it. Thank you very much. Bye.